There we go. Hey, Ben.
How you doing? You okay?
Yeah, I'm good. Are you doing all right?
Yeah, not bad. Yeah, living a dream.
Living the dream. Welcome, everybody, to Short and Sweet. And we're back again with an announcement, first of all, I think, aren't we, Ben?
I think that's right, Darren. Yeah, so we just want to announce last week we did our Flipgrid challenge, asking people, would you rather be a unicorn or a dolphin? And the results are in, and we've found out with a strong vote, the unicorns are the winners. So thanks to everyone who voted. Not my choice, but it's you guys voted for unicorns, so they're the winners. So we just wanted to let everyone know from last week. So thanks for getting involved and voting for your favourite.
Absolutely. Personally, I was going with dolphins. They're really intelligent. I know I said unicorns last week, but I did change my mind. But there you go. That's a Ginger's prerogative, isn't it? So welcome this evening. We've got a really packed show coming up for us, but hopefully it's going to be a really organised show because we've got a gentleman joining us who you will probably recognise. I'm not going to steal his thunder too much, but he has asked us to just basically share this with you, just to give him a little bit of extra confidence, because he's lacking when it comes to public presenting and being on the microphone and things like that. So in case you weren't sure, let's have a big virtual high five in the chat, and let's bring him on, the main man, the A, B, I, and the D. Abid.
That's right, folks. It's me, the A, B, I, and the D. I am the nervous one, as you can see. And I am here making my first appearance on Short and Sweetie. Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, it's great to be here. And now that the barbers are open, you can see I'm COVID hair free. But don't worry, we've got a great show, because this show is definitely not going to be a drag, but because for the first time in quite a while, I'm not surrounded by the woman who pronounces gag as gag. So yeah,
I like that. That rhymed as well. That was even better.
Yeah, absolutely.
Did you have a plan?
Yeah, 3 hours long, mate. Like everything. Reading from the script as usual.
So welcome, Abid. Thanks for joining us. Obviously, for those people in the chat who don't know you, do you want to introduce yourself a little bit?
Yep, I'm Abid Patel. Yep, I'm Abid Patel. I'm a Google certified innovator, trainer, all of that jazz, EdTech 50, and I'm an IT director at a multi-academy trust in London.
And you are well known for jumping up and down, aren't you?
Yeah, I've been known to move it a bit. Doesn't look like it most of the time, but yeah, absolutely. And I forgot to say, I should always say, Team GG UK. Yeah, look, we're in the house. Yep, Team GG UK and Team Global GEG. That's GEG, not GAG.
Yeah, definitely GEG.
Yeah,
like the eggs.
Absolutely, like the eggs. Not like the bags.
Eggs like an egg. Absolutely. No, definitely not. So, Abid, you're going to take us through tonight how people can organise their lives with Google. And we thought this would be a really good opportunity because obviously coming towards the end of the school year in the UK, and some people in other places around the world already at the end of their school year, a great chance to kind of get everything tidied up. And now you've had your birthday, and that's all out of the way, because that's been going on for like 6 weeks, I think.
I don't think we've heard enough about it, actually.
Have we not?
And I'm pretty sure it was agreed by by a couple of my friends that will be celebrating all year long, because it's just making up for lost time, sort of thing.
It's only fair, isn't it? It's only fair.
Absolutely.
I think you should go for it.
Absolutely.
We're looking forward to actually being able to finally get together and celebrate, aren't we?
Yeah, human interactions. Remember that?
Yeah, vaguely. I think it's something like going to a restaurant, but I'm not entirely sure. So, with that being said, let's bring your screen on for you, Abid, and we'll make a start. And obviously, as always, folks, keep the questions coming in the chat. There'll be plenty of opportunities to ask questions as we're going along. And yeah, let's join in. There we go.
Oh, thank you very much. Right, so organize your life. Absolutely. We're going to be taking a bit of a whistle-stop in-depth sort of mixture of a look at Google Drive and Gmail, and how to use those tools, which we're all pretty familiar with, and daily aspects of our life, and basically helping us to organize your life. Don't know who got in there with the American spelling. I'm gonna have to sort someone out in the background, but like it says there, sort it out.
You're in for everyone.
But yeah, we will sort that out. For anyone who didn't catch it before, yeah, absolutely, it's me. It's the ABI and the D back again, once again, and yeah, absolutely. Do follow us on Twitter, and we've got myself on Twitter. I'm Abid_Patel, and also I'm one of the leaders on GEG UK. So follow us on GG_UK, and then also a founding member of Global GEG. So that's at Global GEG. And please do make sure to go visit those websites and join the associated groups. There's lots of really great stuff going on there, and absolutely lots of resources that you'll find really, really helpful as you go along with your Google journeys. And yeah, we just had the very, very successful Global GG Bootcamp, Level 1 Bootcamp. If you missed it, then be sure to watch it back. We've had, I think, last count, we had about 16,000 views of the bootcamp, and we've been getting loads of messages on Twitter and through the Global GG groups to show how many people have passed their Level 1 exams, which is really, really great to see.
It was just shy of 18,000 when I looked earlier. So
yeah, absolutely amazing numbers there. And yeah, we've got the Level 1 bootcamp coming up on the 24th of July. So make sure to keep an eye out for that. And good luck anyone who is also applying for the Google Certified Innovator Academy VIA 20. I know Darren, you and Ben have got your applications in.
yeah.
And absolutely good luck to you. For anyone who hasn't applied and is already a Google Certified Educator Level 2, at 12 a.m. or 11:59 p.m. on Friday, that's Pacific time, is the deadline. So hurry up and get those applications in. Trust me, it's the most amazing thing you'll do, and it will absolutely change your life.
Yeah.
So onto the good stuff. Google Drive, we'll start off with taking a look at. So as Darren mentioned before, I'm not one to shy away from a few things, and I'll start it as controversially as possible with grid view versus list view. Two very contentious pieces of opinion there, with lots of opinionated views on the correct view. But what is grid view and what is list view? And if you've come across the argument, why this and why that? So list view, the very traditional way I was brought up with viewing files in file explorers of operating systems past, and you get full list, a very compacted list of a view of all of your files within Google Drive, and also there's the alternative evil option of grid view, which is a grid that shows product thumbnails with a small amount of information. So what does that look like in practice? If we take a look at Google Drive here, you will see when you log into Google Drive for the first time, you'll see this particular view, which in my opinion looks absolutely terrible. Me personally, I like to see all of my file names in full, know what I'm doing. This is just too much of a mess for me. And how do you change between views? Simply click on the icon in the corner over there. and then we press that and move over to list view. And now I can see all of my files really, really clearly, file names. That's how I work. But obviously it comes down to personal preference. There are some times where list view is more useful. There are some times where grid view might be more useful to you as well. But that's a quick overview of the two views that you have in Google Drive. So
I think I'm definitely team grid view on that one, Abid. I'm sorry.
yeah, I know. Don't worry, Ben. You're young. There's still hope for you yet.
Time to learn.
Right.
I like John's team.
Onto the lesser controversial stuff. Starred and recents. So a few ways on how you can particularly organize your files within Google Drive. If we switch over back to the live demo again, you can see along the side here, you've got lots of different sections. You've got your My Drive, you've got shared drives. If you're working in groups or teams, you can have the My Drive is your personal area where you store all of your documents that are only visible to yourself unless you share, but we'll take a look at sharing in more detail later on. The shared with me section, so if anyone has shared any files with you, you'll find them in this menu here. You've also got recents and starred. So if you've accessed any particular recent files, you can see these are the files that I've accessed recently, some really important files there. And then you've also got the starred. So I've not starred any files. So to star a file, simply go back to your Google Drive, find a particular file. Let's find this very important campaign we've got, Justice for Stuart. Click on that really important campaign and then go to add to starred. You can see that there's a star now appeared next to that file name. And if I go into the start menu, you can see I've got the file there, easily accessible to me. So as and when your Google Drive grows more and you've got more files and folders and things like that, you might have folders with lots of folder structures and you won't immediately be able to see the files that you necessarily need. If you need to be able to have quick access, it's the start option over here. And I'll show you once again, if we take a look at my presidential campaign for later on this year, if we scroll down, right click or two-finger click, scroll down to add to starred, and then when we go to the starred section, you'll find it there. So that is starred and recent. Folders. Right, so as our good friend Stephanie Rothstein says, files should not be orphaned. They should definitely have a home to live in, and that's what folders are. So a great way to organize your drive is by using folders, and you can create folders, you can change colors to folders, you can star folders, you can have folders with multiple folder structure in, so you can really get really neat and organized with the way you do things. So if we switch back to Google Drive again, and we go to your My Drive, now there's multiple ways of creating a new folder. You can simply create a new folder by clicking on New and then Folder. Give the folder a name. We'll call this Stuff. And then simply put, there you've got your folder created. You can also right-click in an empty space and then create a new folder. And then we can call this one More Stuff. And simply put, to move items into folders, you can just drag and drop. So click and drag and then drop it into the folder and it just disappears into the folder. You can also right click on a particular file and you can choose to move to. You'll get a nice window here with your My Drive and everything that's in there. You'll see, and I'm just going to move it into this folder. I can click on the folder directly and then say move. I can even click on the arrow here, and if I've got more folders within the folder, I can go through the folder structure and move the files into that folder. So I'll move it into here. That's folders. Once again, just like your files, you can right click and add to starred, and then when you go to your starred section, you've got your more stuff folder appearing over there. Next up, search. Breaking news and shocking news. Google are quite good at search. Who'd have thought? Search company I heard, apparently, once upon a time. And search is absolutely powerful in Google Drive and in all of the Google apps, actually. And to access the search, simply put, go to the top there, and you can then search immediately for your most your files as you would just by typing, and then you can, as you can see, the results come up. You can also have the advanced search, and what you'll find as well is Google Drive gives you particular search filters that you can access. So that if I if I click on spreadsheets, it will show me all of my spreadsheets here. And if I go back and then click on the arrow, you can see I can go into a lot more deeper and powerful search. So I can search for a particular type of file. I can search for all sorts, not just Google files, but photos and images, PDFs. You can see videos, zip files, all sorts of interesting things that you can search for there. You can look for the particular owner. So what is an owner? Anyone who creates the files. So everything that you create, you are immediately the owner. Any of the files that you have in your own My Drive, you can see here. The owner of all of these files are me. If people have shared files with you, the owner will be that particular person who shared the files with you. You can also choose to look in a particular location. So I can say I want it to be anywhere in my drive. I can drill down and look at some of the subfolders and other areas in the drive. And then I can also do some more really granular stuff, files from a particular date range or a name or all sorts of stuff like that. So that's sharing options in Drive, which is really powerful. We switch back to the presentation. We've got sharing in Drive. Right, so to share files in Drive, quite simply, you can go right-click and go to this. So I find a particular file here of who's going to be in the innovator list for VIA 20. And I'm going to share that with someone. So I will right-click or two-finger click, and then click on share. I'll then look here, and then I'll say that I want to share this file with, let's see, Rachel Coulter. Well, I will put her, or actually, I want to share that file with someone else. I will just put their email address in. I'll put my email address here, abid@abidpatel.com, and then click on the share button, and then you can see it gives me an option to notify people. I can say I can write a message, and I'll say top secret, don't tell anyone yet. And then I can also give options to say that I want the person I'm sharing with to be able to edit files, whether I want them to be able to view the file or comment on the file. And so those are some of the basic sharing options that you've got within Google Drive. And I just simply click on share. And that's, you can also open up the file, and then you'll have the sharing button. So you can then see, if I open up this file right now, lo and behold, no one's been selected yet. What shame. But just click on share, and then you get the same menu over there. So that is sharing. Next up, URL tricks. So as you can see here with the presentation that I've got, it's quite a very simple thing, but when I want to, if I want to present this particular presentation, I can simply right click. I can simply click on after the / and I can select present. There are loads of other options that you can have. If you go to the website over here, and we'll share that later on, there's this really great website here, Learning in Hand, that shows you all of the URL tricks that you can do. You can after the URL, you can do preview. You can also select copy. So when I share this particular link with someone, it'll automatically make a copy for them. There's also a whole host of other options that you have, and we will share that. I'll share that in the private chat, and the guys can then share that out over there. Right, so that's URL tricks. Next up, colors. So if we jump back into Google Drive, so colors apply to folders. So if I have a folder and I want to apply a particular color to a folder, simply put right click or two finger click and then change color. And you can see I can have lots of different colors to choose from. I'll choose a nice red one there, and there you go. It's as simple as that, and it's nice so that it's able to stand out. You can see if you've got lots and lots of folders and you want to find a particular folder at a quick glance, you can add colors to the folders, and it's a really handy thing to be able to see directly in Google Drive. Quickly create documents, a really nice feature that Google introduced last year. All you need to do is in the Omnibox, if I want to create a new Google Docs document, I can type docs.new or doc.new. Same with Google Sheets or sheet.new, slides.new or slide.new, keep.new, form.new, a whole load of great ones there. A very recent one that they've just added in is meet.new if you want to quickly create a new Google Meet, and I'll show that one quickly. So you just open up a new tab and we'll just type in meet.new. And you'll see what it does straight away. Takes me straight into a meet, and then I can click join now and then share, either copy the joining info or add people straight away directly to my meet. So it's a really, really handy thing, and we've done that loads of times. The one thing to remember is if you do select the option for .new, it will create the folder in the root of your My Drive. So remember, keep it organized. Don't keep any orphaned files, and move them straight into folders to keep your Google Drive organized. Emojis, right? Emojis. If you're a visual person and you like to have lots and lots of fun in your Google Drives, you can add emojis to folder names and file names as well. And it's a really nice thing to be able to see. It helps the children in school. They love the emojis. And simply put, if I want to create, if I want to change this folder here, and I just right click and I can say rename. Now, because I'm on a MacBook, I can simply press, I think it's always control command and spacebar, and it gives me a nice emoji keyboard. And we like our face with tears of joy, as we learned yesterday.
Love it 3 times over.
Yep, and yes, of course, Darren is right. You have to do that 3 times over because that's how you properly laugh with tears of joy. And then click on OK, and you can see emoji, a nice emoji description there, and it just adds a nice, really cool effect to your drives. The children will love it, and it's really nice just to add that little sparkle to your Google Drive. And that's pretty much it for Google Drive. Darren, have we got any questions in the chat about Google Drive?
It's going to look through now, actually. I think mostly lots of people giving advice, which is brilliant. And John Neal, shout out to John. Thanks for joining us, John. Mentioning the fact that obviously, if you really want to show off, you can actually search in the Omnibox, which is fantastic. And also the fact that, and this is the thing I love with those .new tricks. What I love about them is once you've used them a few times, the Omnibox learns. And for me now, I just type an S and it automatically knows that I want slides.new. If I type an M, it knows I want meet.new. So it's literally one button, enter, and you're into that brand new file, which is great. And one of the advantages of the sites.new, which I think is really cool as well, is if you do sites.new, it doesn't take you to the old classic sites platform, which is a bit of a pitfall of going via the waffle, I find, and can catch a few people out. So have we got a short, there's a question from Gary, I don't actually know because I don't use it. Is there a shortcut for non-Mac users for the emoji keyboard?
There is actually.
There is.
Back to the, so for Mac users, it is Control, Command, and Space. If you're using a Windows PC, it is the Windows key and full stop or period for
Period. Here we go. Tim's joined in and confirmed that as well.
Yes, that
Absolutely.
is. And then if you're using a Chromebook with Chrome OS,
Yep.
you can actually have an on-screen keyboard. If you go to accessibility and an on-screen keyboard, and then you can get an Android keyboard which has the built-in emoji keyboard.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think Windows has an option as well. Most recent version of Windows has the option of the Swift key keyboard, which also has an emoji keyboard if you want a non-screen keyboard, which is really, really great for accessibility usage.
Yeah. And that's what I love about like G Suite. You know, the amount of accessibility features that are constantly just growing. And I always refer back to Louise Jones's slide deck that she put together of all those features that just grows and grows and grows and grows. And every time I look at it, there's something new in there. So, you know, huge thanks to Louise for maintaining that. And if I can dig it out, I might pop that in the chat as well for people if you've not seen it.
You can find her on Twitter. I think she's Scotland Louise, I think.
Scotland Louise, yeah. And a resource for accessibility is fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely. So it is a great resource.
Yeah, but that's it on the question so far.
Cool. Right, so getting organized with Gmail, and definitely with Gmail, the one thing that really helps you to get organized is Inbox Zero. I know I didn't just a few months ago, I was nowhere near Inbox Zero. I had about 18,000 emails in my inbox, and I didn't see what the point of Inbox Zero was. And it was a very scary thought, actually. Like, you know, how can you not have any emails in your inbox? That's not right. Doesn't look like you're working. And so why Inbox Zero? And definitely Inbox Zero is all about well-being. And you'll find that you definitely make your life a lot easier when your inbox is at zero. And it's quite satisfying to almost feel like you're on top of all of the work that you need to do. And here are some 6 steps or 6 points as to why Inbox Zero is really great. And, you know, 6 steps as to what you can do to achieve Inbox Zero, and we'll be looking at them. We've got snoozing emails, creating filters, using Google Tasks, templates, schedule send, and working smarter and harder, smarter not harder, shall we say, on how you can improve your well-being with Inbox Zero. And you know, we've been using emails for how many years? I mean, since the popular advent of the internet. And we think we know how to use emails. You know, email, it's all about sending and receiving emails, isn't it? That's it. You write an email, you compose it, you send it, you receive it, and it sits in your inbox, and nothing else to think about. Well, no, with Gmail there is so much more power with what you can do with your inbox. So we'll take a look first at prioritizing your emails and the snooze option. So what's really great about the snooze option is you can take an email that you've received, whether you've received it right now or you've received it days ago and it's further down in your inbox, and you can snooze it to a particular point in time. And what I find is really awesome with that is what happens is as soon as you snooze it, when it comes to the point of the time that you've set as to when you've snoozed it to, it will reappear at the top of your inbox as if it's a brand new email. But it's not actually been resent. It's just Gmail reminding you that you snoozed this message. And I find it a really useful feature. If we jump into Gmail, you can see I've got quite a few emails here. And then you can see my daughter has sent one here saying, don't forget on Sunday, the 20th of July, we've got to watch the Grand Prix.
Good reminder.
That is a really good reminder. So I need to snooze that. Now, first thing you'll find with Gmail, which again is a personal preference thing, is right. How do I snooze this? Because I can't see a snooze option. I know that the option for snooze is this one with the clock. And what you can do is you can hover over your emails, and you can hover over a particular message and then hover over the icons to see archive, delete, mark as read, or snooze. There's also the option of ticking the message there, and then you get the bar along the top as well, which gives you the same icons. But me personally, I like to be able to see straight away all the options and what they are and what they do. Like, for example, what's this one? No idea. Add to tasks. Right, that's great. It'd be lovely if I could see it straight away. Well, there's a way. If we go to the settings button in the corner here and then click on see all settings, that takes me to the main settings panel. Now, what I need to look for is an option called button labels. So if I scroll through, you can see here towards the middle, I've got button labels, and I've got the option here for icons and the option here for text. If I click on text, scroll down to the bottom, save changes, straight away, you can see now I've still got the icons if I hover over the email, but if I tick the actual email here, I can now see the labels in actual text format, which makes life a lot easier for me, just because I like to be able to visually see what it is that I'm wanting to do. Again, it's down to your personal preference, but I'm definitely team labels here. That's another argument for Twitter at another time. So snooze. As you can see here, we've got the snooze option. Click on it, and it gives me some default options. So I can say snooze until tomorrow at 8 a.m., snooze until this weekend, or snooze until next week. Well, we'll know that the Grand Prix is on Sunday at 2 o'clock or 10 past 2. So I will say I want to select a particular date and time, and then I will click on Sunday, the 12th, and then I put the time here in the 24-hour format, or military time for our American friends. So it's at 14:10, but I want to join 10 minutes earlier so I can see all the pre-build up. And I click on save. And what will happen is you can see the email has now disappeared out of my inbox. Where's it gone? Well, if you go around the left-hand side, you can see you've got lots of sub-menus here, and you've got an option for snooze. If I click on there, you can see there the message that my daughter sent me, and you can see on the side here, it's snoozed until the 12th of July. And what will happen is at 2 o'clock on the 12th of July, it will pop up again in my inbox, ready for me to action as and when I see fit. So it's a really great thing and a really great feature that will help you take control of your inbox. If there's something that you see that, oh, I need to look at this, but it's not the time right now, and I want to come back to it later on. So it's a really great option there with the snooze feature. Next up, Smart Compose. Smart Compose, really great one. Never works when I want to do a live demo, but we will try it now. So I am going to send an email to myself again, and I'll talk about we want to have a barbecue, and I will say, hi, hey Abid, how are you? That's a great one. And you can see there it suggested how are you, and you can see as soon as I type the how, the are you option is in a lightened gray. Now, to accept that suggestion, I simply either press the tab button or I can press the right cursor key. So I'm going to press the tab button here, and you can see it's now turned it into black, and it's accepted the suggestion there. I can say hope, and then you can see there it's suggested all is well. I might want to say hope you are well, and you can see it learns from as you type. And it's really good as you type more and more, it will start to learn the way you speak. It will start to learn your terminology, the way you use a language, and there's some really powerful machine learning happening behind the scenes that will really help you to really type those emails fast. Smart Compose, interestingly enough, it has also appeared in Google Docs now. So when you're typing out Google Docs, it's really, really handy as you're writing large documents. You'll also see that the Google Docs now suggests things for you to complete and finish, which is really, really handy. But that's Smart Compose. Let's switch back to the document.
I'm hanging out for the day that Smart Compose also works with voice typing. So he can start talking and then it just goes, oh, I know what you're going to do. That'll be amazing.
Yeah, that'll be brilliant. Cool. Right. Next up, templates. So templates, or formerly known as canned responses, I believe is now no, it's not included by default. So how do we enable templates? We go into settings, and then we go into see all settings, and then we go into the advanced section, and then you can see here there's an option for templates. And what templates does is it allows you, if you have messages that you write out often, rather than having to rewrite the message or have them copied and pasted into a Google Keep or a Google Doc or somewhere, you can actually create a template for a particular document in Gmail. So to enable that, once again, I'll just go through it again. Simply click on the settings icon in the corner, go to all settings, and then the advanced section, and then you can find templates here. By default, it's disabled. You click on enabled, save changes. And now if we go back into the compose menu, once Gmail has loaded, you can see as soon as I go to the compose menu and then click on the three dots or traffic lights or meatballs, another nice Twitter argument there, you can see the option for templates.
We're definitely traffic lights, and we them.
Yeah, I'm down as traffic lights.
Yeah.
Team three dots here, I think. Absolutely.
Not again. Another version.
Right. So with templates, the thing to do is to start writing a template. So I can start writing a template, and I can say reminder, short and sweet, and I can say, hey Ben, don't forget short and tonight. Now what I can do is, if I click on said option menu here, I can then click on templates and then save draft as template and save as new template. I can then give the template a name. So I'm happy with reminder, short and sweet, and you can see that it's automatically populated the subject field as the template name, and then click on save. As soon as I've done that, if I delete this email now, go back, compose a new one. If I want to type that same email again, I can click on the three dots there, go to templates, and you can see reminder, short and sweet. As soon as I click on that, it automatically populates the email ready for me to send to whoever I want to send it to. So a really nice time-saving feature there if you're sending regular emails out, and it's really useful to have as an option within Gmail. So that is templates. Next up, Google Tasks. One that I find is not that commonly known, but it's a really, really useful one. So Google Tasks is basically a nice way of creating a list of your tasks that you need to address at any point in time. And you can quite easily do it by going to your Gmail, and tasks where is Google Tasks? It is on the right-hand side menu there. So on the right-hand side menu, you've got, by default, you have Google Calendar, which shows you your day view of your calendar if you have any particular entries. You've also got Google Keep. So if you're using Google Keep to take notes, you can take a quick note using Google Keep here. And then you've got Google Tasks. So if there's a task that I want to set, there's a few ways of adding something to a task. So I've got this email from Tamina here, and she's asking me to watch this YouTube video of the river dance, and I will watch it at some point, but not right now. But I'll add it to my list of things that I need to do. So there's a few ways that I can add this to tasks. I can simply click and drag the email and drop it into the task. And you can see there what it's done is it's created a task with the name in the subject field, and it's also referred to the email in the task. If I click on that, you can see it now opens the task with the email directly in full screen. I can click on back, go back to my email. If I find another one, so I want to find this one, which is my birthday cake from the Baked Ninja. Let's see. Apologies, but she'll be unable to make me a cake as she's fully booked until 2021. Terrible.
Hero, dear.
Absolutely. Let's go back. There's a few other things there. Chocolate strawberries. The quotation for chocolate strawberries will be £2,540 plus VAT. Absolute bargain. So
strawberries.
Yeah, some real gourmet 24 karat gold.
Made of pure gold. Yeah.
Absolutely. Liquid gold, of course. Liquid gold. So I want to add this to tasks because it's something that I might make sure I pay for from my millions later on. So simply put, when I'm in the email, I can just click on add to tasks there. If I'm not in the email and I'm back in my inbox, I can just select these two particular messages and I can click on add to tasks. And you can see there, it's now added those messages to my tasks. If I have addressed them, so if I've said that, yep, I've pulled out the checkbook and I have paid for the chocolate strawberries, I can simply mark that as completed. Tick it and you'll see it will disappear. When the message goes away at the bottom, I think you can see I've got a section here which shows all of my completed tasks. I can then delete that particular task and it deletes it. Note that it doesn't delete the email. It just deletes it from the tasks. I can also click here and have some options there to do with tasks. Arrange them by my order or arrange them by date and a few other options there. So that's Google Tasks.
Got a couple of questions coming in, Abid.
Yep.
First one is from Mel A. How do you remind yourself to use tasks regularly, especially as it's quite new? Is it just ingrained now, or is it something you have to consciously do?
I think it's probably comes down to finding a sort of routine of working. I think I know what I've done in the past is I've added loads of things to tasks and then completely forgotten about the fact that I've added them to tasks. So it is something that I think comes with regularity of routine and experience. If you start to use them regularly and make a note of these are the tasks that you want to do. You know, we traditionally we would have had desk pads that we take notes on. You know, stop taking the notes on the desk pads, start moving them digitally, and then moving them into Google Tasks, and then you become more aware of the frequency of relying on your task list within Google Tasks. So I think it's something that comes out of routine and just regularity in use.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a massive tasks user. I use it all the time, and it's an absolute lifesaver for me. So every morning I'm just straight in what's on my to-do list today, because that's my priority. And what I love is the fact that you can drag them around to reorder them. So you might add another couple of tasks and they automatically go to the top. But if one at the bottom is really important, you can just drag that back up, and you can do that on mobile the same as you can on your desktop and on the Gmail app. You can still click and add it to tasks, which is fantastic. So an email comes in while I'm out shopping, I can add it to my tasks and I can drag it to the top, and I know that's there for first thing the next morning. But the other thing I love about it is if you add a time to that, it adds it to your calendar as a reminder, which is great. You get that little ping that reminds you to do it. I think that was one of the things I didn't do to start with. I didn't bother adding the timer or the reminder time, and actually that's really, really useful, because it just pops up in your inbox and says, don't forget to do it, or pops up on your phone. You've said you were going to do this. And that's just answered Gary's question as well about does it work with calendar. We had a question from Paula as well, which is another really, really cool thing. It's one of the reasons why I love it, and it's a massive part of Inbox Zero. Once you added your Riverdance to tasks, Paula noticed that it stays in your inbox. What would you suggest you do to clear it from your inbox?
Yeah, absolutely. I think I'm going to talk about that in a bit. But if you want to remove, obviously there's multiple options of what you want to do with an email once you finish with it. Or so as we demonstrated before, there was the snooze option if you wanted it to come back to you later on. If you've added it to your tasks, you can delete it, of course, if you're finished with it. And I think that's something that's really important to get used to, is deleting emails that are you do feel are unnecessary because you've addressed it and completed it and don't have to come back to it. The other option is to archive it, which is probably one of my favorites. If it is something that I want to refer back to at a later date, then there is the archive option. So again, just by hovering over the email, you've got archive there, you've got delete, mark it as unread, or snooze. So in this instance, I'm going to archive it. So I click on archive, and then you can see what happens is it disappears out of the inbox, or it should do.
Yeah, typical.
There we go. I'll show that again. I will take this one from Andy about my sunglasses. So I can hover over it. I can either archive there, or I can tick the box and then click archive here. And so you can see there, it's disappeared out of the inbox.
And what I love with tasks as well, Abid, with that is if you put an email into tasks and then you archive it, it keeps the link to that email in the task. So it might have gone from your inbox, but it's still really easy, just one click to get it back again. You haven't got to go searching for it. So they've really thought about that.
Yeah. And a question that I normally get is, now that I've archived that email, I might not have added it to tasks. Where's it gone? And it actually took me a while to figure that out when I first started getting used to Gmail. And the answer is, if you look on the left-hand side menu there, if you click on the more option and then scroll down to all mail, this is basically every message that is in your Gmail. So you'll find things that have that you've snoozed. You'll find things that you've archived. You'll also find draft messages as well. So you can see here the Riverdance one is archived. The one from my daughter Khadija, which is snoozed, and I can see that's there in red. So this is where all of your email that you snooze goes into, and that's a really useful thing to know. And then we'll also talk about starred as well, if you want to be able to come back to a particular message if you're not a tasks person. And I think one thing I'll quickly show on tasks, as you were saying, is how to add a date and time. So you can simply click on the edit details here, and then you can add a few details, and then you can add a date and time. So I can say, yes, I want to come back to this one next Wednesday at 9 a.m. And do I want it to repeat? And I can have it repeating every day at the same time. Click OK. And then you can see there it's now created a task reminder, and I'll get a notification if I'm using the Google Tasks app. So that's a real handy feature, and you can see the reminder option there as well. So that's Google Tasks.
Yeah.
Cool. Next up,
got one more just popped in, just as we were going there. Question from Patty Sand 77. How can you pin an email so that it appears at the top? Because Outlook's got that feature, but she's not been able to, or he's not been able to find that in Gmail. Is there a way you can do that?
I think so. So at the moment, the way I've got my emails or my view of my inbox set up is the very sort of traditional way of all of your emails in chronological order as they come in. If you click on the settings icon there, you can see that there are some options as to how I want to view my emails. One thing that I particularly like is having a reading pane. So I like to put it on the right-hand side. And then if I just reload the screen, you can see now I've got a reading pane here. And I can see there, I can see my my inbox with my list of messages on the left-hand side, and I can see the message there. And I can also change the size of the reading pane as in how I see fit. There is an option to have a priority inbox as well, which puts important messages that I have, and what the importance is it's set by Google's artificial intelligence, that it will look through my emails and detect what it thinks is important. There's also the starred option there. So what I can do is, if I want to come back to this message from Becky here, which is super duper important, I can click on starred, and then what will happen is at some point magically it might, if I dismiss this, nope, doesn't want to appear. It's
isn't it typical?
Whenever we're doing demos, it always happens.
There we go. Refresh of the screen, and you can see there the message now has appeared in the starred option. I think there's also a few other options as well. You can have your starred messages first. So if you don't want to have the importance, you can have the starred messages there. So you can see your starred messages are pinned straight at the top. You can have your unread messages. So I can change that. So I can have my unread messages all appear at the top, and everything else that I've already read before appear at the bottom. Importance, which was what we said before about the Google's artificial intelligence going through your emails and detecting what it thinks is important. And then the default, which again is my personal preference, but based on the question that was asked in the YouTube chat, I think starred is probably what they might be looking for.
Spot on. Brilliant.
Cool.
Let's carry on then, shall we?
Yeah. So next one was schedule send. So a really great thing, especially for well-being. So what I might want to do is I might want to send an email to say, let's say, sort it out, and say, can you please do this task now? But I know that Abid's not working at the moment, and he starts work tomorrow at 8 a.m. So rather than send this message to him now, what I can do is I can click on the arrow next to the send icon and then schedule send. And what I can do is I can select quite simply, similarly to snooze, I can select to send the option to send the email tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock. I can send it tomorrow afternoon at 1 o'clock, or on Monday morning, or I can say select date or time. So I can say, yep, I want to send it tomorrow at let's say 9 a.m. So I can do 0900, click on schedule send, and you'll see the email has now been sent. And if I decide, no, I don't want to send that message, I can simply click on the scheduled option in over here, and then I can click on the message here, and I can say that I want to cancel the send. As soon as I press cancel send, what it does is it brings the message back into draft mode. So say, for example, I forgot to add a particular attachment. I can either add an attachment from the computer, or I can add an attachment in from Google Drive. So I can find this Google Drive. I can say Cat Lavin's been swearing quite a bit, so I need to add to her swear jar, and then I can just insert this link to the Google Sheet here, and then again go through the schedule send. And so I'm going to send that, and what it'll remember as well, it'll remember the last scheduled time that I wanted to send it to, which is really, really handy. Just click on that again, and it'll also remind me that I need to share the file with this particular person, and I can just click on send, and then that's good to go. And that, again, you'll see it's not been sent, it's actually in the scheduled, and I can select it there and then go through the same process again if I need to add more files in or anything like that. So that's schedule send, and it's a really, really good and important one for well-being, because we shouldn't be working out of our hours, and we need to look after ourselves, and we also need to respect our colleagues' working hours as well. So it's a really great thing to do. But it's also really great if you want to send an email next week or the week after. You don't have to wait. You can delay it to a particular date, and so it's a really nice, important option to have.
Mm-hmm.
Start. I think we've gone through Stard. I'll quickly show a few other options for Stard, and then we'll take a look at undo send. Yep. So going back to the email, you've got the Stard option. So you've got your by default, you've got your yellow star. If I want to change that, I can go to all settings again. And then if I go down to this star option, you can see there's lots of different stars that you can have. You can have different color stars. You can have exclamation marks and other green ticks and things like that. If I like a green tick, I can just click and drag it in there. And then if I scroll down to the bottom and click on save, if I go back to my inbox and then choose that I want to tick this one, I simply click on the star, click on it again, and you can see it's now given me the green tick. If I go into the starred option there, I can see my message with the star, and I can see my message with the green tick. So it's just something, again, that's nice to be able to quickly see something that you've done. Undo send. Undo send's a really great one. If I want to send if I've not been having too great a night, and I turn around and decide that I want to quit, and I just want to send this message quickly and say, yep, I quit. I click on send and then realize, I shouldn't have done that. Quickly go to the corner there and then click on undo, and there you go, the message hasn't been sent. Now, by default, you can change the time on how long you have to undo a message. So again, go into settings and then see all settings. And then if you scroll down, there is an option for undo send. Here you go. And so by default, it's set to 5 seconds. You can change that to either 10, 20, or 30 seconds. So if you're someone who might thinks they might make a mistake often, or if you're sending an email and you constantly forget attachments, you might want to send that to 30 seconds. And then what you'll find is, as soon as you send or try to send an email, I'll go back to compose, and I'll say here's that document.
It's 5 seconds, not even long enough for it to register that you've not done it, is it? It's crazy.
Yeah. On to 30 all of my accounts.
Yeah. And so I click on send here, and then realize forgot the document. So I've got 30 seconds now to just click on the undo button here. And as soon as I do that, it's brought me back to the compose window, and I can add the document in as and when needed. So
the other thing I love as well is when you are setting, like when you are emailing with attachments as well. I love the fact that the AI gets involved as well. And if you've said sort of please find attached this, that, and the other, and you go to send and you haven't attached it, it does say, hold on a minute, you said you've attached something and we can't see anything. Are you sure? And that's a great way. So if I am going to attach something, I always make sure I start my emails with please find attached, and then it helps me out and it digs me out of a hole quite often.
I had this exact same thing this morning happen to me, where I was sending a video off for an assembly that's due to go out, and it's I said please find attached, never attached anything. The amount of times I do that is having really. But undo, having that AI send on there, and even sometimes where it doesn't pick it up, having that undo send feature has been brilliant. I love it.
And you can see there, I've done exactly that. I've typed attachment, please find attached document. I've clicked on send, and Gmail has straight away thrown up a box there alerting me that it looks like you've forgotten to attach a file. You wrote find attached in your message, but there are no files attached. Do you want to send it anyway? Okay, or cancel. Obviously I want to cancel here, and then I want to attach a document. Let's go back into my Google Drive, and I'll find the cure for COVID-19, because that's really important right now.
That's what it is.
Yeah, that's what it was, hidden away in my Google Drive, and then click on send, and you can see it now asks me to give permission as needed, and then I can just click on send, and it allows me to send. And I still get the option to undo if I decide I don't want to send that message, or just leave it. If I don't want to wait the 30 seconds, I can simply just click on the cross there, and it will send the message straight away. So that's undo send.
Brilliant. Love it.
And a few more things. We've got how to use labels to tame your inbox. This is a really, really great one that has really, really made my life a lot easier. Let's go rid of this box here. We've got our inbox. Now, as you can see, I haven't got any labels created. So what I want to do is I want to create a label for any emails from our good friend Frederick. So firstly, I can there are a few options to create labels. I can expand the menu option here and then create new label. I can also tick the email that Frederick has sent, and I can click on labels, and it gives me a few default options, but I don't particularly want to use that. So what I'll say is I will say I'll create a label called Global GG, and then say create new. And then what's happened now is it's told me that this is the new label it's going to create. I can also create a nested label if I want to create labels within labels, but I don't want to do that right now. Just want to create a label there. Click on create. You can see now I've got a label called Global GG, and what will happen here, you can see in the inbox, and if I also click in the message, you can see it's now in my inbox and it's now in Global GG. I've seen his email, and I can see that it's I've done what he's asked me to do, so I can either delete it or archive it. And there's two ways to do that. You can either archive, or I can simply click on the cross next to inbox to remove the inbox label. So you can see now it's removed that message from the inbox, but I can still find it in the Global GG label just by clicking there. And so I can see that's where the labels are. Another nice option with labels is if I want to be able to quickly see labels for important things. Yep, Global GG is something really important to me right now. I can click on the three dots and then choose to select a label color. So if I choose this nice red one, click there, you can see now it's given me the Global GG label in red there. And if I go back to my inbox, or if I move this back into inbox. If I click that, you can see straight away it's strikingly obvious that that message there from Global GG using the Global GG label is in my inbox. I can see it straight away, and it's a really nice thing. If I've got this message from Fred as well, and I've got this one from Philomena, I can then just click on labels, tick the box for label, apply, and you can see straight away. It's a really nice thing to be able to see straight away, instantly, just looking at your inbox straight away, that these are messages from Global GG. I can then archive them and they disappear from the inbox. That's labels. Filters. So filters are kind of, if we're familiar with Outlook, filters are the equivalent to creating rules, for example, in Outlook, and Gmail does that with filters and labels. So where you have in Outlook, you have folders and rules. Gmail calls them filters and labels. And the great thing is you can automatically assign labels to emails as and when they come in. So I can say that every time I receive an email from Becky here, what I want to do is I click on the email that Becky is sent. I can click on the 3 dots in the corner and I can say filter messages like this. I can also go to more and then also filter messages like these. As soon as I click that, it takes me into the search selection there. So I can say any messages that have come from Becky. I can also say if they've come from Becky and been sent directly to me. Also, if they have a particular subject, if they include a particular word, if they don't have a particular word, I can also go into granularity, whether they have a particular size or an attachment and don't include Hangouts chats or Google Chats. But here, for now, what I want to do is every message that I receive from Becky, I want to create a filter. And I've got loads of options here. I can say I immediately don't want to see it in my inbox. I can mark it as read. I can star it. I can apply the label. That's something that I want to do here. I want to apply the label, and I want to apply the label Global GG. I can also apply a new label. I'll call it Becky, and I want to nest it under Global GG. So I will click that, click on create. I can also choose a few other options. If I really didn't like Becky, I could choose to delete it. And I can also do other things, make sure that her emails never go to spam, and mark them important or never mark them as important, categorize them in different categories. But a really great thing is I can also apply it to any matching conversations. So if I've got a massive inbox with 18,000 emails and I've got 10,000 of them are from Becky, what it will do is it'll offer me the option to match these to every matching conversation that I've got from Becky. Let's create that filter now. And what you'll see is as soon as I've got the email, when I go to the inbox, it's now marked it as Global GG / Becky. And you can see it's now nested Becky underneath the Global GG label. And any emails that Becky then sends me in future will automatically appear in Becky's label there. And I can do that for if I receive an email from Google, I can have a label for Google and that automatically goes to Google. If I receive an email from Darren or Ben, I can create labels for different people. And it's a really great way of being able to take control of your inbox, especially if it's regular updates. As an IT manager, I get regular updates, say the backups have been successful or they've failed. I don't want to constantly see them, but I want to have those emails there. I can then just make sure that I can select the option to skip the inbox so they don't appear in my inbox, but I can then go to the filters and I can see them there. So it's a really handy tool to have. And that's pretty much it for Gmail with getting organized. I don't think there's many things that I missed out. Are there any questions in the chat?
Not questions as such, just lots of people kind of appreciating what we've gone through and feeling kind of like deliciously evil at the thought of kind of putting people into boxes and labels and leaving them and snoozing them and sending them away. But as you rightly said, it's really important for our own well-being and for other people's as well. I might be quite happy sitting at work in between 4 and 7 o'clock at night, but someone else who's got younger kids might want to work later on when the kids are in bed. So, some schools I know of have tried to have kind of like 7 till 7 embargoes and things like that. But it doesn't work. With the scheduled send, for example, you can send any time you like. It's fantastic, and it can arrive any time you like. I can't remember who it was, but you wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning with a thought in your head, which happens. Send it with a scheduled send, and then go back to sleep because you've dealt with it. So
yep.
It's really, really, really important. And Inbox Zero definitely changed my way of working.
Absolutely, and I think what's really, really great and what's really important to realize is we've only just touched the surface and the tip of the iceberg here. When I went from 18,000 emails to 0 in the space of about an hour. It wasn't hard to do just by following some of those quick rules, going through and looking at all of the suggestions. The really, really great ones were labels and filters, and just by creating those initial labels or filters, you're able to then go and it automatically gives you those options to apply it to every single one of them, and then you can archive all of those emails in one go. So you might have tens of thousands of emails from your line manager, and you don't necessarily want to delete them, but you can get rid of them from your inbox because they're historic emails. You can get rid of them straight away, put them into a folder, into a label, so you know that you're able to come back to it as and when needed, but it's not in your inbox. And you can start to see as and when you start to apply more filters and more automation, that it just makes the managing of your Gmail so much more easier, and then start to feel on top of your workload.
And like you said, you only have to do it once.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you do it once, it works unless you take it away. So
yeah.
That
go on, Dan. I was just going to say, especially if you've got multiple inboxes. I mean, for me, I've got 2 work accounts, one for my school and one for my academy's trust, and then also have things like my training accounts and my domain accounts and everything as well. So I have lots of different emails, and having all those come through on my phone or my computer all the time is was getting far too much for me. And having these filters has made such a difference in pulling those straight across into those labels and having it all tidy. So when I'm ready, I'll go in and look at those labels, look for all the emails, rather than my phone going off 10 to the dozen. And not only that, your phone battery dies really quick. So it's great for me. I've loved the filters and the labels side of things. It's changed my life for the better, definitely.
Definitely. I think what I love about Gmail, and you'll like this, Abid, is it just works.
Yeah, brilliant, of course, and that's the important thing, isn't it? When everything just works.
It just works.
That's it. And more on that in a few moments. But just want to give another shout out to Team GG UK. Great job that Darren and Ben are doing with GG UK and with Short and Sweet. It's been so great to see some of the previous episodes, and we've had some great presenters on Short and Sweet, and big up with that. And there's some great work going on there with the GG communities. We've got a Facebook group now, and we've got a Google group. And we've still got the old Google Plus, or as it is now, Currents community out there that you can join with a G Suite account with your school or trainer G Suite account if you've got one. But absolutely follow us on Twitter for loads of the latest updates on all of the events we've got coming up. We've got some really exciting stuff coming up in collaboration with the Global GG, and you've got the Global GG website there as well. We've just had lots of launches. We had the GEG SoCal launch today, which went through some of the great things that are that are going on with Google for Education, and I think what COVID-19 has taught us is, we are quite borderless, and we're able to work so collaboratively, globally on a global scale with some great educators, and the global GG has been a real testament to that. And we've had some inspirational stuff come out. We talked about the level 1 boot camp before, and what were you saying, Darren? 18,000 views, I think.
18,000, yeah.
And and do let us know, anyone from GEG UK, if you've taken your level 1 test and passed. It would be great to hear from you and celebrate and share your success, and report that back to Google, because they love hearing that. And look out for the level 2 boot camp coming up on the 24th of July. So Friday 24th, we're going to be looking at the level 2 boot camp. And Ben and I, we're going through Gmail again, aren't we?
That's it.
Looking at some of the things that you need to know about Gmail to pass your level 2 exam. So absolutely. And Darren, you're covering a few things on that.
I think I'm doing more of the backstage stuff this time around.
Cool. Yeah, that's good to see. But absolutely, everyone, do join in. And then an event of mine that's coming up. So we briefly touched on
wasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. We did talk about something that just works, isn't it? And if you want to learn more about it, things that It Just Works, please do sign up for the It Just Works event. We had a soft launch on I think it was on the 1st of July, with a Twitter chat that was absolutely wild. We had some great engagement, and a really great important chat on some really important things about digital transformation. And we're going to really be celebrating the success of digital transformation journeys from schools around the UK and in the States, on how they've tackled the subject of digital transformation, and how they've used it to really enrich their students' lives. And it will be so great to see as many people as we can. So yeah, please do sign up for the It Just Works event. It's on Monday, the 20th of July at 4 p.m. here in the UK. That's 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern, and 6 p.m. GMT +3. But please do absolutely sign up. And we've got some really great speakers. We're hoping to have some nice prizes as well. We're going to have a few prize giveaways as well, and we'll announce some winners. We've got some great swag to give away to some lucky winners, so that'll be great. But yep, absolutely, please do sign up, and it'll be great to see everyone there. Follow us on Twitter, @it_justworks, and do get involved in the conversation. #itjustworks. And that's pretty much it from me.
That's awesome. Thanks, Abid. And big shout out to you as well, because the It Just Works Twitter chat, was it last week?
Yeah.
That was really good, wasn't it?
Mm.
There was a real buzz around that, and some great ideas shared as well. So if you've not been involved in Twitter chats as well, do keep an eye out for them, guys, because it's we try and do them nice and slowly, sort of every 10 minutes, so you're not bombarded. But it really was a great opportunity to share ideas with each other as well. So keep an eye out for Twitter chats as well. But thanks for joining us tonight, Abid. Really appreciate your time. It's been excellent. Loads of really great feedback. Lots of people with takeaways that they're going to go and talk to, not just themselves but their colleagues about as well, which is fantastic. So huge thanks to you for doing it, and thanks for all your support as well through GEG UK and through Global GEG as well, because obviously it's a busy time for everybody, but appreciate you giving up your time and even bringing the family along this evening. It's always always appreciated. I can't get mine to come. They're like, what are you doing?
I can't really follow up on that. I've got to echo what Darren said. Thank you for joining us, and we really appreciate the tips you shared with us today. I can't really say a lot else. Darren's already done it. So,
Abid, are you okay if we share the slide deck in the chat with people?
Yep, I will. Yep,
I've got the link, so I just wanted to check with you first. So
yep. No, that's.
I've got that. I've got the view link in there. Brilliant. There we go.
Yep.
And obviously, earlier on in the chat, we also shared Louise Jones's link to her accessibility features as well. So that's back in the chat as well. If you go through, the links are in there, along with the sign up for It Just Works on the 20th as well. So thank you very much, Abid. Thanks to everyone for joining us.
Yeah.
And have a very good rest of your day, evening, morning, whatever it is, wherever you're joining us from. And we'll see you again next week. Thanks very much, folks. Take care.
See you next week, guys. Thank you. Bye.